This is Industry Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we analyze a different industry. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about the waste management industry. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hey there, Aluxers. Are you ready to let go of some baggage? We're not talking about emotional baggage, but waste. Today we're tackling the waste management industry, aka the people and the business that takes care of your trash. The waste problem developed into a full-blown industry when people began producing more waste and populations grew. Nowadays, there are multiple types of waste and multiple ways to deal with it. The modern garbage trucks came out of the late 20th century, and since then, other types of waste were produced, and also there are ways of recycling it. From the moment you throw something away to the moment it ends up in a landfill or recycled, there's an entire industry and process that occurs. There's a lot of money to be made from trash, and we're going to dig in to see just how much, how they make it, and if it's worth a shot. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Of course, you know the old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Number 1. The USA is the most wasteful country in the world. America is a country of firsts. They might be the first to have done or achieved amazing things, but they're also the most wasteful country in the world. America produces over 250 million tons of garbage every year. The good news is that they recycle around 30% of that trash, but the rest of it ends up in a landfill or incinerated. Other countries that follow the US are China, Australia, Russia, and islands. Yes, islands are a massive wasteful area due to tourism and the fact they don't have the proper infrastructure to manage it. Number 2. Some cities charge households on the amount of waste they produce. In case you weren't aware, waste management is funded by local and national taxes. That means you need to pay a tax to have your trash taken, or the money is taken from your taxes. Depending on the city you live in, these taxes or prices can be higher or lower. In Taipei, for example, a modern and developed megacity, the city government charges its households and industries for the volume of rubbish they produce. This is a strategy that works very well, since it forces people to be more aware of their waste and pay more if the waste company spends more time and energy on themselves alone. In other areas, if you recycle your waste, then you pay way less. Another strategy to make people be more aware of how important recycling is. Number 3. There are plenty of companies that thrive on waste management. Those people that you see walking around all day picking up trash or sorting it for you are actually hired by multi-billion-dollar companies. Some of them have specialized in multiple types of waste, including recycling services. Households pay somewhere around $12 to $20 per month to a waste management company that comes once or twice per week. If you own a business, a hospital, or just happen to collect a lot of waste, the prices can end up to be $100 per week easily. You can make money out of everything. Number 4. Bill Gates is betting on waste management. One of the richest men with a net worth of over $95 billion, Bill Gates is actively invested in a waste management company, which serves more than 21 million Americans and is the U.S.'s largest provider of waste management and residential recycling services. The company has a 14-year history, and since waste is going to be around for so many years to come, it's definitely a good investment that even Bill Gates thought of. He has 6.95% in equity, money invested from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A smart move, as we would expect to see from Bill. Be like Bill. Invest in trustworthy stocks. Number 5. It's a $285 billion industry worldwide that will double in the next 5 years. The waste management industry grows more and more every year. In the last 2 decades, the amount of waste grew significantly and is now worth over $285 billion. Sources say that in 5 years, that number will almost double, up to $425 billion. The rise in environmental concerns and non-hazardous waste from rapid economic growth across developing nations in the South Pacific region will drive the demand for waste management services. Also, the advanced waste management solutions is a key factor that will keep this industry growing. Number 6. In the regions where waste is not regularly collected and managed, disease appears. The problem is that poor countries need to build infrastructure, and rich countries need to reduce waste. Each of these affirmations is met with resistance and excuses because it's always easier said than done. In countries where cities and areas are poor and underdeveloped, the waste industry is almost non-existent. If the waste piles up on the streets, bugs and rats will move in, and with them, disease, infections, and other health problems. On the other hand, the waste from rich and developed countries is taken to landfills, where all of the methane and chemicals that form end up polluting our planet. Number 7. Big companies are disposing their waste into the sea without any repercussions. We're all responsible for the way waste is managed, both as individuals and as companies. If nobody takes responsibility and proper care of this issue, then others will suffer. For example, Thailand is becoming the garbage bin of the world. Tons of waste is being flushed onto their beaches, waste that is not being taken care of properly by people or companies. In Vietnam, the situation is even worse. The government allows companies to dispose their waste into the water, putting the marine ecosystem and people's lives at risk. Hopefully, emerging countries will follow the modern waste management laws and procedures for the betterment of us all. Number 8. Due to poor waste management, some countries import waste. On the other hand, some countries manage their waste and recycling systems so well, they need more to keep it running. Sweden, for example, recycles nearly 100% of their household waste, and they need more as they're working towards a zero-waste country. Other countries such as Iran aren't competent enough to recycle and separate waste at the source, so they import it to keep the recycling facilities running. It's ironic how poor waste management is failing some. The industry is a great opportunity to make room for more jobs and complete the energy circle. Number 9. Waste can be turned into electricity. It's not enough to take the waste and store it in a landfill, because piling up all sorts of things can lead to a lot of nasty side effects, including severe pollution of our environment. If the waste can't be recycled, then it can be turned into electricity. These plants that are specialized in turning trash into electricity are making millions of dollars. The UK alone exports 3 million tons of waste to other European plants and then imports it as electricity. In Poland, these facilities use the energy from the waste to give it back to the community, which brings around $34 million in revenues back to the city that does it. Number 10. The United Arab Emirates has one of the highest waste generation rates in the world. The boldest and richest region in the world was in fact built without taking into consideration the waste management, and we're talking about the United Arab Emirates. They have one of the highest waste generation rates in the world and a population of 9.4 million residents. Their rapid growth has led to massive construction waste that has polluted their waters severely. Thank God they have money to come up with clever ideas on how to manage it and how to reduce it, because they can't just get rid of it and produce more. And Luxers, if you'd like to see the craziest luxury car graveyard because you're a car enthusiast, then head over to our video, Luxury Car Graveyard in Dubai Makes Car Lovers Cry. Just click in the top right corner to check it out. Number 11. Waste management violations are very expensive. Some huge corporations that were caught not properly disposing of their waste were fined millions of dollars. Dollar General stores and Big Lots stores are some of the big names in the U.S. that paid over $3 million for not disposing of batteries and merchandise properly. In recent years, many retailers have been fined and sued for not properly managing their waste, including Walmart and Whole Foods. They're big corporations that still don't have proper waste management protocols. A few fines, scandals, and millions of dollars in lawsuits always helps to get companies back on the right track. Number 12. Amazon invested over $10 million in their waste management. One of the biggest companies in the world, Amazon, is fully aware of the waste their factories and products make. Since there's so much attention on them, no mistakes are allowed anywhere along the supply chain. They recently announced a massive $10 million investment in the Closed Loop Fund, a recycling project which invests in the circular economy to help improve recycling infrastructure within the U.S. With this investment and the solar panels they've installed in the UK, it'll help the trillion-dollar company become, in the future, one of the most sustainable businesses in the world. Number 13. South Africa has one of the best waste management companies in the world. South Africa is showing the entire world how waste management should be done. As the modern world and technology advances, the waste industry should keep up as well. We now have smartphones, wearables, and a lot more plastic to dispose of, and somebody's gotta do it. EnviroServe Waste Management was founded back in 1979 and is the first company of its kind to implement groundbreaking waste management solutions, some of which are still recognized as best practice in the sector. Spending over $3.8 million, they use ethical practices and advise their customers on how to consume, how to recycle, and how to manage their own waste. The next big thing in this industry might come from Africa, not the US. Number 14. There's an Uber-like service for trash. When Uber was first launched, people thought it was the best idea and a disruption in the transportation world. The Uber concept is now being implemented all over the world, including in their waste management industry. Some smart guys at Rubicon Global, a company worth $1 billion, have a cloud-based full-service waste and recycling company focused on sustainability. They developed a mobile application to provide on-demand trash pickup, while also focusing on sustainability and cost-saving alternatives for waste. Leonardo DiCaprio is an investor in Rubicon, and other big financial names like Goldman Sachs. Number 15. Most communities spend more money on trash than for school books, fire protection, libraries, and parks. Spending and sharing tax money is not an easy job. There will always be something more important or urgent to deal with. It seems like trash is nowadays highly important for communities. They spend more money on trash and waste management than they spend on school supplies, fire protection, even public institution maintenance. They are all important, we have to admit, but maybe investing in education would be more sustainable. What do you guys think? We bet that after this video, you'll be looking differently at your trash and waste management companies. It may be impossible to think that others make money out of waste, but hey, at least it's not going to waste. We could come up with dozens of puns with waste and trash, but we'd like to hear from you instead. What do you waste your time on? Is it YouTube, Netflix, clubs? Let us know in the comments section below. And for those of you still with us, those true A-Luxers, here's your bonus. Number 16. Junk mail wastes energy. This might come as a shock for some of you, but receiving junk mail and managing it wastes a lot of energy that could be used for more meaningful purposes, like warming 250,000 houses. Apparently, the energy for creation and the distribution of junk mail goes to waste, a problem the UK and the US is facing more than other countries. According to McAfee antivirus software, only 20% of the world's mail isn't junk, and there's still no solution to this annoying problem. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.